Hi everybody, welcome to another card making video. Today I'm going to show you how I made this mini slimline card with an ocean theme. I used the slimline die set from Carlijn Design to make this mini slimline. The card is around 3.2 inches by 6.3 inches. I'm actually in love with this card size, so I've been making a lot of cards like this lately. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see more videos with this card size. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Ben je Nederlands? Er is ondertiteling beschikbaar. I start with coloring my images. Off screen I stamped out a mermaid from Mermaid for You, some plants from Your Sublime, and some ocean critters and a plant from the new set Ocean Shelfie, all from Lawn Fawn. I'm using my Copic markers to color them in, and I'm placing the caps with the color numbers on the left of my paper for you so you can see the colors I'm using. If you want to skip watching me color, you can skip to the time that pop-ups on the screen now. You can also find a clickable time link in the description. I'm not that great at coloring hair, but since the mermaid has her hair going into one direction, I think I managed pretty well. When I'm done coloring, I'm going in with my black fineliner to darken up some of the inner lines to bring back some detail. They always become a bit dull from coloring, especially with darker colors like the purple from the octopus. To finish my images off, I'm adding highlights with a white gel pen. To give the octopus a little more detail, I'm not only adding white dots with my gel pen, but I also use a purple fineliner to add some more dots. I'm die cutting the images off screen. Let's move on to the background. I've cut a piece of watercolor paper a little bit larger than the die is that I'm going to cut it with later. I like to do this after because it's not only easier to do so since the die has a post-stamp border, but also that the paper might shrink or expand a little when I spray it with water and heat set it later. This background is made by layering different things onto each other. For the first layer I'm blending a background with distress oxide in the colors Faded Jeans, Mermaid Lagoon and Picked Raspberry. Blending the Mermaid Lagoon and the Picked Raspberry together gives a nice purple transition from the blue to the pink. When I'm done ink blending, I'm spraying it with water, dab the excess off with a paper towel and clean my work surface. Off screen I'm adding splatters with these blue paints and I'm also adding white splatters. I've heat setted the background off screen and now moving on to the second layer of the background. I'm using the new Lawn Fawn stencil that's called Ocean Waves together with Distress Oxide Chipped Sapphire to add waves. I'm not starting all the way at the bottom since my ocean floor is going there later. I add a little ink to the stencil and then blend it out to my background. By doing so, you don't add too much at once. I'm using the different waves to move all the way up. Now I'm going to use the Lawn Fawn cloud stencil to add some white stenciling. I'm using Memento Lux White for that, and I put some down on my media mat to be sure I don't bring in any color from the background to my ink pad. I was not satisfied how this cloud came out, so I decided to let it dry a little and then go back in with the same stencil part to make the line a little more crisp. After I'm done with the stenciling, I'm cleaning my surface again and heat set my background to make sure everything is dry before I die cut it. Next up is making the ocean floor. I'm using distress oxide for this as well. I'm using chipped sapphire again, and to make the top a little darker I'm adding some black soot. I'm heavily spraying this with water to give it an interesting look, dab off the excess and clean my surface again. After that I'm heat setting it so I continue die cutting it. I'm using one of the Lawn Fawn simple stitch hillside borders for it, and I die cut it with the same slimline die to make it fit to the bottom of the background. Off screen I already stamped and die cut the scripty Happy from the Happy 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 set from Lawn Fawn with picked raspberry. I layered it with some die cuts from blue cardstock from the same Happy to give it some thickness. I'm going to heat emboss the word birthday on the background, so I'm placing the Happy on the card first. Then I figured it would be good as well to glue the ocean floor to the background first. Like always, I'm not putting glue all the way to the top part of the ocean floor, so I can easily put plants behind it later. Now I'm using some baby powder to make sure the embossing powder won't stick where it shouldn't. Normally I use my powder tool for this, but I feel like it doesn't let the powder through that good anymore. So brushing on some baby powder does the job way better. I'm placing my die cutted Happy on the card so I can see where to stamp my birthday. When I know where to stamp it, I move the Happy so it doesn't get in the way. I'm carefully putting on the embossing powder from the side so I won't get any stuck under my ocean floor. I love that the media mat can handle the heat from the heat gun. This way I can easily heat it directly and as short as needed to keep the rest of the paper in shape. Now onto assembling the card. First I clean off the leftover baby powder from my surface, and then I take out my prepped card base and card front. I've cut that card front with the Carlijn Design die that is one size bigger than my ocean background is. First I'm gluing that card front to my card base. While that's drying on the side, I'm adding my Happy to my background. Then I'm adding all the plants. The second plant didn't want to go behind the floor piece, so I used my tweezers to slightly loosen the floor piece. Now I'm adding all the critters and my mermaid to the scene. To finish off my background, I'm adding different sized bubbles from different ocean sets with Memento Looks White. I'm also adding some of the little fish from Mermaid for You. That Memento ink is a little slow drying, so if you want to make sure you don't smudge anything, you can put it to the side to let it dry before you adhere the panel to the card. If you're impatient like me, you can continue right away and pray to the craft gods you don't smear anything. I'm using tin foam tape to adhere the scene to my card. I'm using tin tape so my card doesn't get too bulky, but it will still add some dimension to the card. And with that, the card is finished. I'm not only in love with the size of this mini slimline card, but I'm also happy how the background turned out. I hope you enjoyed my video and that I inspired you with my card. If it did, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to receive notifications when a new video is up. Thanks for watching, see you next time, bye!